Let me tell you something that took me a lifetime to learn. An investor's real job ain't picking the right stock. It ain't guessing the right moment. It ain't sounding smart or quoting fancy terms. An investor's real job is two things: self control and staying informed. And those two jobs right there, well, they'll test a man's character more than money ever will. Huh? Most folks lose money not because they're dumb, but because they're emotional. Greed gets them in, fear gets them out, ego keeps them from learning, and impatience keeps them from winning. The best investors don't beat you by knowing more. They beat you because they can keep their head when the whole world is losing theirs. Investing is a mental game first, financial game second. I didn't understand that when I was young. I thought I needed complicated formulas or fancy degrees. But after watching decades of markets rise and fall, you know what actually helped me become a better investor? Studying human nature, studying history, studying my own weaknesses. You do that, and you start to see patterns that the rest of the world is too emotional to notice. There's a proverb that shaped how I invest. Solomon said, "A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls." And I'll tell you what, Ron, that describes 99% of investors today. They have no emotional walls, no discipline, no patience. One headline breaks them, one rumor rattles them, one dip scares them. But a man who can't control himself has no business trying to control money. Money amplifies whatever's already inside you: fear, insecurity, pride, greed. It all gets louder. And here's another truth Solomon gave us: the prudent to see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. That's investing in a nutshell. The prudent investor stays calm, studies, prepares, understands risk. The simple investor chases trends, ignores history, and pays dearly for it. I learned early on that markets don't behave. People do. Markets aren't up or down because of numbers on a spreadsheet. They're up or down because of millions of people feeling hopeful, scared, greedy, uncertain, excited, reckless, or impatient. You understand people. You understand markets. That's why history made me rich, not math. Let me give you a story. When I was in my 30s, I had a colleague named Vincent. Smart man, sharp dresser, talked fast, thought faster. But he had no emotional brakes. Every time the market hiccuped, he reacted, jumped out, jumped in, chased the hot stock, dumped the cold one he wasn't investing. He was flinching. 10 years of that, and his portfolio looked like someone took a lawnmower to it. He asked me one day, "Leo, how do you stay so calm?" And I told him, "Vincent, I ain't trying to predict the market, I'm trying to predict myself. And the only way to do that is with discipline. Discipline beats intelligence when intelligence has a temper. The more informed you are, the calmer you become. Ignorance creates panic. Knowledge creates peace. You study history. Suddenly, these so-called unprecedented crashes look pretty normal. You study psychology. Suddenly, people's reactions make perfect sense. Do you study yourself? Suddenly, you stop making the same mistakes twice. Reading is the secret. I know folks don't like that answer, but it's the truth. Every dollar I own started as a paragraph I read somewhere. Books gave me mentors I never met, teachers who'd been dead for centuries, warnings about mistakes I didn't have to make myself. People ask me how I stayed patient for decades. I tell them, I read about men who waited longer. People ask why I don't panic. I tell them, I read about storms 10 times worse. Most people want to be rich but won't sit still for 20 minutes to read. They want shortcuts, not wisdom. They want hype, not knowledge. But hype fades. Knowledge accumulates. Listen carefully now. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your discipline. You don't win because you're talented. You win because you're consistent. You don't get wealthy because you gamble. You get wealthy because you stay steady while others lose their minds. Every good investment I ever made came from thinking instead of reacting. Every bad investment came from reacting instead of thinking. Wisdom takes its time, emotion rushes. If the world can rush you, it can rob you. And let me remind you, success and wealth are wonderful things, but they don't come before character. I've seen men with a big portfolio and a small soul. I've seen men chase money so hard they forgot who they were. Don't let that be you. Build your mind. Build your discipline. Build your peace. The wealth will follow. If you want to be a great investor, here's your checklist. Control your emotions. Study human psychology. Understand history. Read like your future depends on it, because it does. Stay humble. Stay patient. Stay informed. And never forget those words of Solomon. Without self-control, you're a city with no walls. Master yourself, and you'll master your money.